Right, I just want to tell you a little bit about how hardy certain fruit and veggies. So cranberries, we've got cranberries down as minus 30 degrees, they're hardy too. Blackcurrants are hardy to minus 25 degrees. Currants I've got down here as minus 20 degrees, they're alright to. And red currants generally are up to minus 30 degrees. Nearly all strawberries, if you look on the web, and you know, I can't like vouch myself because I've only had it to minus 13 or in this house, minus 16 in my other house, and basically, you know, I've had strawberries live quite comfortably with minus 16, but it says minus 20 on the internet, and I can't vouch for it. All I can say is minus 16 for definite. So that strawberries are pretty damn hardy though. Minus 20 will pretty much be protected everywhere in the UK. The plants here we've got mentioned, so we've got the Goji, which is minus 20 degrees, the Chilean Guava, which is minus 8 degrees, the Gooseberry, that's okay until minus 25 degrees. A few different types of blueberries in the garden. These, when I've looked into the different varieties, they all seem to say about the same thing, which is around minus 30 degrees they're hardy to. So if it drops any more than that, then you know they could potentially die. Right, like pear trees, most pear trees I've got down as between minus 25 and minus 30 degrees, which is really good. There's a couple of varieties which go down to minus 40 degrees. Apple trees, with the most apple trees are to minus 40 degrees. The ones that you'll pick up in your garden centres in the UK, but there are a few which are minus 25, but nothing I could find which was more than minus 40, which is adequate anyway. The only other tree I can think of is the strawberry tree, and that is minus 12 degrees. Most of the stuff which you'll get in the garden centres in England, like like you've got a walnut tree here, there's cherry there and stuff like that. You're looking at like a minimum of minus 25 for most trees in the UK, and most native ones that you find in the UK easily minus 30 as well. So unless you live somewhere which is like more than minus 25 degrees, or sorry, less than minus 25 degrees in winter, then you should be safe. Alright, take care and bye. Most of your hardy veg, like your spring onions and your spinach beet, and you've got some hardy spinach as well, and some parsley and such like, they should be fine to like minus 16 degrees or more. The spring onions, if they do die right back because it's severe cold weather, what you'll find that they'll re-emerge from, I've had them like die off the actual greenery and then come back next year, like growing new shoots. So don't dig them up straight away, even if they do look like they died. Things like your chilli plants and your courgettes and your tomatoes, they're hardy only to about 6 or 7 degrees. Below 7 you could lose them if it's sustained. Below 6 you're pretty much going to have really severe damage on them, and if it does turn frosty or icy, they're pretty much dead unless they've got a really thick cloche on them, or you've got like a heated bed, or even a hot bed. If you want to try one of those out, you could grow these a little bit longer or early in the season. Right, all my red currants and black currants and a few other plants I've got in the garden, they're all hardy, or all the currants and berries anyway, they're all hardy to at least minus 13 degrees I've had in this garden. So I know they're alright to that, but you know, as I said before, some of the currants are minus 20, 30 degrees, some of them. The loganberries and tayberries, it's difficult to find a definitive answer on it, but I know minus 13 is definitely okay. like 100% okay, because I've had it in the garden and I've had it sustained for a while, so they were fine. Right, most herbs you get in the garden will live to about minus 20 degrees, like your marjorams and oreganos. There's a few which will look a bit dishevelled or possibly die off if it's if the weather's a bit too cold for a long period of time, and too cold I'm on about below minus 12. You shouldn't really have any problems with your chives and such like. They should come up year after year, even with like minus 15, 16 degrees I've had them, they've come up. So it should be fine. So I've had like garlic chives and just normal garden chives, and they both come up fine. As regards for herbs, well, how hardy they are, the green sage is more hardy than the purple sage. Purple sage could die anywhere after minus 10 degrees, whereas the purple sage will live up until at least minus 13 degrees. Obviously, if it's sustained a long time, the weather like really cold, it could actually kill the plant. But if it's just one night here, one night there, it should be fine. So it's just a purple sage that you might need to protect if it's a little bit chillier. Oh, and the multicoloured sage as well, or tricoloured sage. That too can die off at about minus 10, 12 degrees. A little bit less than this. If you've got any broad beans, I've got any left in the garden, maybe one. That's what's left of my broad bean crop, not much. Broad beans, they're pretty hard until at least minus 10 degrees in winter. If you get severe winter where it's like either really, really cold, they could pull through it. Some of my broad beans pull through the minus 13 degrees here, but a lot of them died off, so I'm not going to say they're alright. Anything below minus 8 and it's sustained, I've had them die off. Anything minus 10 or below, then yeah, that's pushing it a bit, and minus 13 will kill them, but you might have one or two rogue ones that can survive. With the runner beans, they're more tender. You're looking at about a little bit more tougher than the tomatoes I found in this garden, but you're looking at about anything below 6 degrees and they could die off. Below 5 for sure they're gonna start suffering a hell of a lot and die. Or your like kales and or your brassicas, they're pretty damn hardy. They are. I mean, they actually like the cold, and they'll produce nice sugars for you when it's winter, and they'll start tasting a lot better when you get the first frost. So they're actually designed to be eaten and enjoyed more, I think, just in winter.